Oh, hi. Good morning and welcome to the New Species Live. I'm Jillian.
Off, I think. Good morning, Jillian and Mary here giving me hell this Saturday morning, but it's all good, all good, all good.
New Species' mission is to help our clients live better and longer. New Species invents and manufactures our own line of high potency herbal formulas that are all designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and a good health choice for you might be something different for someone else. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers to your questions that will help you continue along your own unique journey. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you're over on Instagram and plan to be chatty, please come on over to YouTube instead, because although the comments are going through in Instagram, we have trouble monitoring those along with the ones that are right here in front of us. So we look forward to talking to you today. Feel free to start posting your questions
or comments.
If you don't have any, then at least say hi. We like to hear from you. So good morning, Fitzgerald. Good to see you here.
If you have family members who you think what we do here would be beneficial to them, reach out to them and let them know they have health issues, they have cancer, they have any chronic ailment, and just the information we provide can help them, whether they're on medication or not. Because a lot of what we do, you can use information to manage your healthcare, manage your doctors, manage what your doctors are saying to you, and ask the right questions of your doctors. So invite family members and friends. You're all missionaries of New Species, so don't need to tell you that, but please do.
Right. The way to share this with your family is you can just go up to the URL bar of the browser that you're on and copy, and then you can highlight that code and then copy it and then paste it into a mass message in your, let's say, your family WhatsApp or a group text, or for those who you've maybe been talking about New Species to, and maybe you struggle to convince people that you're not crazy or that New Species isn't weird, or whatever objections might be to those who maybe need the help and are afraid to try something different. You can just let us do that work for you. So sharing the link to this YouTube live stream is the best way to go.
Right. And after doing this for so many years, we're going to get to updates, but after doing this for so many years, what I have seen is that the clients, the people who have the most knowledge about what's going wrong in their bodies are the people who are most motivated to take action, especially taking action at home, to eat better, to drink more water, to exercise, or even just to do New Species. The people who know why they're doing New Species, why they're changing their diets and their lifestyle, those are the people who also get the best help from New Species, because they're motivated by the knowledge or the information they have about the issues they have, whatever the issue is. So bring your family members in, even if it's 5 minutes or a few minutes for them to listen in. You never know. Lightning could strike.
It has to eventually.
Or as Jamaicans would say, the donkey will drink the water, may drink the water.
Right, finally.
You
right.
can take the donkey to the water, but the donkey may not drink. That's what a lot of clients would say to me.
Yeah.
But you never know. The donkey may drink this time.
It's true. Repetition is very important.
Yeah.
All right, couple of quick announcements. First things first, we are still doing the 20% off of the upgraded rebuilding formulas, as well as the 26% off the God formulas. This is just our ongoing discount to help those of you who do need these more expensive products to work on very serious health issues. We want to make it as affordable as possible, especially in light of some price increases that will happen soon.
I know you all are thinking, I know you're saying it too. Boy, they've been talking about this price increase now for like a year and nothing has happened. They ain't going to do nothing.
I think it's been like, 2 months, but it feels like a year. Okay, so that discount is currently still happening. It's just automatically on the site. So all you need to do is make your purchase. When you go to our site, you will, for the first time, see pop-up asking you to join our rewards program or opt into our marketing. If you're already a part of our marketing, it may not ask you. We're still figuring out exactly how this new pop-up is going to work, but it's going to it's going to give you the opportunity to opt into our marketing. So we'd like you to do that. If you already have, thank you. What we mean by that is you've given us permission to text you or email you. We've put a link to a form in the chat many times. If you filled that out, then you're probably on the list. But if this pop-up comes up when you go to our site, feel free to fill it out again. It'll just ensure that we have your most up-to-date information and that we have permission to market to you. All right. Secondly, we will be wrapping up the show today in a bit more of a timely way because Aston is heading to Bronxville. So if you've been looking to see Aston in store, he will be in Bronxville today from 12 to 6. So as soon as we wrap up here, he'll be heading down. All right. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, June. So we've got a question from Fitzgerald and then one from June. So Fitzgerald's asking, can you please discuss varicose veins and how NuSpecies can help?
So it's an issue that's becoming very common. I think someone asked this question a couple of weeks ago, and I guess we didn't do justice. So there are many reasons, there are many ways that the veins pop out, right? There are many reasons. One of the main reasons is what they call collagen. It's that protein that all our organs, including our skin, use. And a lot of you told me that you're taking or trying to find good collagen. You don't need to buy supplemental collagen. If you're taking NuSpecies is going to rebuild the body, rebuild your genes and DNA, especially if you're taking the B vitamins, the mineral complex. Our bodies are naturally inclined, automatically inclined to produce collagen. So when you have this thinning layer or inadequacy of collagen, that's one of the reasons why the veins could pop up. Nothing is wrong with the vein. They just pop out because the skin is not strong enough. The plastic, that's what our skin is. It's actually plastic, like plastic bottle. Believe me, it's made from silicone, just like a plastic bottle. So when our skin thin out and we lose muscle mass, we lose collagen, we lose all these proteins, the cholesterol beneath the skin that our bodies use to produce vitamin D. Yes, we have a lot of cholesterol in the layers of our skin. We actually don't have a skin, we have skins. There are many layers to our skin. So when it thins out, what happens is that the veins pop out. Another reason why you have these, varicose veins is because if you have issues with cholesterol or triglycerides, and the blood vessels are hardened, even from blood pressure or diabetes, because those are the three main diseases that damage blood vessels: high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. High cholesterol, you could add in the triglyceride, which is the fat. So if anyone who has consistently high cholesterol that are damaging the blood vessels, creating plaque and letting the blood vessels bulge. That's what plaque does. It hardens and bulges the blood vessel. And then blood pressure does it, but what it does is shrink the blood vessel, make it hard. So the blood vessel is now hard, pushing against the soft tissue of the collagen. Or if it's diabetes is even worse. Diabetes is what causes, the most vascular issues people have all around the world, because the glucose is so powerful with carbon, it just destroys the blood vessel. And that's why a lot of people have vascular issues. You usually have it first in your legs or your feet, because that's where you have the least blood circulation, but you could have it anywhere. But most of the varicose veins or spider veins that, ladies would say to me are in the feet is because of that. The blood circulation in the lower part of the body is harder to move up. It's harder to push up against gravity. So gravity is pulling down. The magnetic field in the earth is pulling us down. It's pulling the blood down as well. And that's why if you don't have good blood circulation, because you don't have a healthy enough lung or heart, those are what push the blood vessels. So the lungs oxygenate the blood, and then the heart push the oxygenated blood. So if it's weak, you could have these issues with blood vessels in your feet as well, because your feet, if you have those, are not getting adequate food. Like oxygen is the most important food for life, and then all the good foods you're eating is not getting into your legs. So a lot of you have edema, and all these issues you have in your lower legs is primarily because of poor blood circulation, which could result in varicose vein as well. Hope that helps. And there are other reasons that reasons that cause varicose vein. I could sit here for the next hour, and Mary and Jillian would like yell at me, say, "Shadow Aston," but there are other reasons. But those are the main ones. Some of the main ones.
And then Fitzgerald was saying, how can new species help? So you had said the B vitamins and the mineral complex can help the body repair our genes.
Right. So at minimum, everybody, every human being needs the right amount of vitamins, natural vitamins, vitamins from foods, not from labs. B vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin E. All human beings need those to keep our DNA and our genes healthy. If we don't have healthy genes and DNA, forget about everything else. The organs are going to fall apart. And then you need the mineral complex. The mineral is what create the enzymes. Enzymes are what break up the foods in our stomach and our small intestine to make us be able to metabolize it. So you need the mineral complex. And then if you want to go crazy, you can do an LNU with that, the LNU1, the LNU9, LNU25. You could do any of those with that. So varicose vein is not necessarily a blood circulation issue. If you have blood circulation issue, you have high cholesterol, diabetes, blood pressure, you have heart issues, lung issues, you have a lot of other issues, infections that's loading up inflammation in the blood. So no one has blood circulation issue unless the blood vessel is blocked. So if the blood circulation is poor, it's because of the disease conditions that are damaging the blood and damaging the blood vessels. And that's what these formulas will help to do. So if you have diabetes, you'd be an anti-inflammatory to help to remove the inflammation from the body, from the bloodstream and the body in general. But then the other formulas I mentioned, the LNU1 or 9 or 25, the B vitamins, vitamin D, and of course, the mineral complex. And ours is completely natural. I'm going to preach it to you until you say, shut up, Aston.
Right. And then Aston and I have recently been taking on the hobby of studying in more detail gut microbes and the microbiome of our gut. And we don't emphasize this enough, but one of the benefits of our products being raw is that every single plant comes with its own microbiome. And so when you're taking raw
I
plants,
think you should explain microbiome.
So your microbiota is all of the microbes that.
And you all should listen to this because you're going to be blown away.
Well, I'm not prepared for a whole presentation.
That's okay.
Just
Give us a snippet.
So your microbiota are all of the microbes that are
bacteria
that are symbiotic.
Good bacteria.
Are you gonna let me make the presentation?
Yes, I'm gonna. You say microbes, so
I have to get there. I gotta layer the information. Layers.
Okay, go ahead.
So your gut microbiota is all of the microbes, the friendly bacteria, the healthy bacteria, meaning they have a symbiotic relationship with us, that we need them, they need us. They live in our gut. In fact, we have trillions and trillions of bacteria that make up the human body,
and don't freak
which
out.
outnumber our own human cells by like much. So it's like basically only 10% of what makes our bodies actually human. The rest of it is bacteria. Okay, so having said that, your gut microbiome is the genetic makeup of all of those bacteria in your gut. Those bacteria actually are what break down and process everything that we consume and help extract all the nutrition along with enzymes and other things, but for the most part, the bacteria, and then allows that to be absorbed through the tissues of your intestines and get into your bloodstream. So if you are taking supplements that your gut microbiota do not like, they're not going to break it down and it's not going to extract any nutrition. If it's made in a lab, bacteria doesn't know what that is.
It's a compound.
So if you want to really get proper nutrition, it's not just about taking a supplement that says, oh, this says B6. Guess it's good for me. No, if it doesn't come from actual nature where the microbes in your gut can identify it and decide that this is good, I want to eat this, by the bacteria wanting to eat that nutritional food, is what then allows it to unlock all the nutritious benefits of that food and get it into your bloodstream. So that's another whole benefit of our formulas being whole food. It's why they unlock so much more nutrition than your standard supplement that doesn't come from nature at all.
Right. So certain foods, if you love, you have your addiction to sugar or salt or other foods, bread, rice, all these foods, you have your addiction, right? You love it, right? And it gets on your taste buds in your mouth, right? And you swallow it, right? And you feel good. But when it gets down to your stomach and the small intestine, the good digestive enzymes will reject it. And that's what will lead to stomach issues, intestinal issues, you know,
Every disease that we
every
know.
disease that you imagine that exists down
For
there,
mental health, but not
including
just digestive.
constipation.
Yeah, not just digestive issues though. If your gut microbiome is not healthy, then you are not healthy in any way.
I agree
Yeah.
totally. So you get it. So one of these weeks, if you tune in, hopefully, Jelly can get into more details about how it works, and you'll see why we have our formulas as completely natural and they're from whole foods. So when you go to the stores and you buy these vitamins and minerals, and there's synthetic compounds made in a lab, they're actually hurting you. They're destroying these good enzymes or these good bacteria or microbes that you need. Probiotics, that's what they call it in the supplement. You're destroying the good bacteria when you use these foods that have chemical compounds, and that goes for foods you eat in the markets. You could buy an orange, and it's real orange, but it's adulterated with chemicals, and you eat the orange and you get it in your biome and you destroy your biome just the same. So even though you buy the oranges organic and you consume it with the chemicals, you see, that's why you need to be detoxing. So that's the last you need in the package for the varicose veins to rebuild the body. You need to detox. That's why you need to detox people, because a lot of the foods that we're eating that we think is good, it's loaded with preservative chemicals. So even the apple or the orange you buy from your market, they adulterate it to keep it fresh. And sometimes it's adulterated for days or weeks or even months because they keep it fresh. They try to keep it fresh, and that's what you're eating. You're eating the chemicals.
All right. And then now that Aston said the word probiotic, I have to disclaim that just going and buying anything that says probiotic does not actually mean it's a strain of bacteria that's going to help you at all. Okay. This is like another whole thing. I've been researching some work done by, I forget his name now, but he's like the godfather of probiotics, and he's like in an outrage over the probiotic industry because the only thing that makes something a probiotic is that it actually has to prove in studies to have a beneficial impact on the host organism, which would be us in this case, the human.
Right.
And so you can have a strain of bacteria that is not dangerous, but if they're promoting it for an area of the body where that bacteria doesn't already naturally exist and thrive, it's not going to have any benefit. So it might not be a harmful bacteria, but it's not going to help you either. So it
Mhm.
has to actually prove to be helpful for it to technically be a probiotic. Just being a friendly strain of bacteria does not make it a probiotic. So I really uh, do not recommend you start going out and buying probiotics. What we do recommend is that you actually eat fibrous foods, vegetables and fruits and whole grains that will feed the natural gut microbes that we already have inside us and help them to do their job.
And if you want to make sure you're getting those foods with the right minerals and vitamins, you can add the new species B vitamins complex with vitamin C and the mineral complex, and that will take you there. Even if those foods are garbage, even though they're naturally vitamin, as whole foods and they have all this stuff in there, our formulas are clean, and you will get the right amount of vitamins and minerals. The B vitamins complex with vitamin C. All of you, including your children, should be taking them.
All right. I'm going to say good morning to Marjorie. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Trevor. Hey, Carl. Hi, Derekford and Fitzroy. Good morning, everyone. All right, so we've got to go to back up here. So June is asking, after taking my liquid NuSpecies, my stomach feels a little off. Is this normal? It goes away after about 10 minutes. So June, yes, this is totally normal. You've been on our products for quite some time, so I would think that maybe that effect would wear off by now, but it can be different for everybody.
Mhm.
They're powerful products. Again, they're raw whole foods in a potent combination. So for some people, when that hits the stomach, especially on an empty stomach, it can make you feel a little bit nauseous. My mom will always tell you she'll feel like a little lightheaded after she takes the products. If it bothers you, you can always dilute it like a little bit, or eat like a banana, or after you eat something healthy for breakfast, you could then take it right after.
Mhm.
If you're someone who's working on a serious health issue with Aston and he's advised you to only take our formulas on an empty stomach, then unless you are really suffering, don't follow my advice right now. So June, I'm not totally sure what the extent of your health goals are, but if that feeling is ever making you not want to take the products, it is absolutely better to take them than to not take them. So if you have to dilute it a little bit with like a tiny bit of water or eat like a little like a banana or something healthy, then that should be fine. All right.
Yeah, some people do get a
Oh, sorry.
little, they call it nausea, but it's the power. The formulas are highly concentrated, so the power is just hitting the stomach, and then, or poor, the poor liver, the poor pancreas are not producing the enzymes fast enough to start the metabolic process of breaking down the new species, because it's so potent, and that's why you'll feel it. You're right, June. You should feel it for between 5 and maybe 15 minutes, and then it goes away. And then after that, you just feel like you want to fly, because now your body has utilized it all the new species you've taken, and your cells are all clapping and happy. Yeah.
All right. Derek Ford is asking, what about too much red blood cells? How can you help?
So if the body is producing too much red blood cells, the RBC especially, then you should see a doctor. Something is going on with the liver and the pancreas and maybe even the bone marrow. And I could sit here and walk you through 100 scenarios, which won't help you much.
Should we
So,
ask? I mean, Derek Ford, if you want to try to chat quickly to give us a little bit more detail, have you already spoken to a doctor? Has anyone said anything to you? Aston, on many occasions, you'll look at someone's labs and say, "Hey, has your doctor talked to you about this issue with your kidney?" And they'll
mhm,
say, "No, I have. They told me I was fine."
mhm.
So, Derek Ford, I'm curious if that is the case for you, or if you have any more insight, if you have any symptoms or any reason why this is coming up, other than just you happen to see it in your lab. That would help Aston be more specific.
Right.
Okay. But otherwise, what your answer right now is he should check in with his doctor about that.
Right. It could be many reasons. It could be a bone marrow issue, could be a liver issue, a pancreatic issue, could be a lot of issues, could cause some infections. Our bodies find ways to compensate for something that's wrong, and that's what happens with a lot of people. Sometimes it's high red blood cells or low red blood cells or whatever else the issue is, or your body's compensating it. I would say to people, when you have fluids around the heart or the lung, it's not a bad thing. It's actually the body is trying to save the lung or the heart from toxicity. Yes, it's congestive heart disease, but the body is trying to save the muscles of the heart from absorbing all the toxicity by creating fluids around the heart to absorb all that sodium and chloride and other chemicals. So that's why you need to find out from your doctor. You need to do the blood test. You need to do the MRI. I would say those are the two most basic tests you all should do if you have any health issue, and maybe an ultrasound. You're adding that to get a really good idea of all the things that could be going wrong in your body. A blood test alone won't tell you anything. So yes, your RBC is high. Doesn't mean anything
Mhm.
unless you know what's causing it.
Mhm.
And that's why a lot of you who take medication, you find that you take one medication and in 2 months the doctor changes and keep changing it, and you see it's still getting worse because the doctor has no idea what's causing the issue you have. That's why the doctor just experimenting. And it doesn't make the doctors bad or evil. They're trying to help you.
Right.
And that's why you all should rely on your body. Eat well, exercise, drink lots of water, and
Sleep well.
and what?
Sleep well,
And
manage
sleep
stress.
well, and let your body be your healer. Let your body be your cure for anything you have. And we at NuSpecies can help to tell you and give you what you need to get your body to cure itself. That's what we do.
All right. So, just back to Derek Ford. So he did follow up and say, my doctor said my liver elevated. I think he means like the indicators on his lab for the liver are
Hmm.
elevated
Hmm.
and the blood cells.
Right.
So then
So
maybe it
so so
is.
there's a liver issue. So if your red blood cells are high, you now have to be extremely careful of not just toxic liver. Your liver is toxic already, but now you can get septic liver, where all these chemicals and fluids are just sitting in the liver. And you don't want to ever get to that stage, because if you do, hopefully it's not you, Dirk Ford, but if it's you, you should get on my calendar. If you're not on my calendar, I know a whole bunch of Dirk Ford. I'm not sure you're one of them, but If it's you, you should get on my calendar. Let's talk one on one. But yes, if you have a liver issue like that, it's pretty serious. And unfortunately, there's no medication. All the steroids you're getting to alleviate the inflammation in the liver is not going to solve the root cause. It could be a genetic issue. It could be a DNA issue. Who knows? So your labs and the scans you do, bring them to me if I don't have them already. If it's one of you or that I've talked to before, and maybe you and I need to sit down again if we're talked about. That's I don't remember, but I have a lot of Derek's Fords.
Okay. Well, Derek Ford he is also asking, and how can new species help? So no, you don't exactly know what's going on, but have you dealt with a variety of these circumstances, and have you seen where they've improved?
Yeah. So if you don't want to talk to me and then you just want to get something, so you should get the detox package. You should get the milk thistle, and you should be taking. Maybe you don't do all of these, for you maybe just do them for 1 month or 2 months if it's in the budget. So this is a lot, but you're going to need the detox system to clean the chemicals. You're going to need the milk thistle to help to purify the liver, and you're going to need the anti-inflammatory to remove the inflammation. That's what the steroids. If you're taking steroids, that's what the doctor's giving the steroids to do, just to minimize the steroid production. That's all the medication can do. Whatever steroids you're taking, that's all it can do, is to minimize the production of inflammation. So get our anti-inflammatory, whether the regular one or the stronger one. And then the last thing you need to do is to add one of our L-Nu, whether the L-Nu 1 or the 9 or the 25. If you do get an L-Nu, you should be taking 1 ounce daily. So I was saying before that if you do the system, you can just do it once and then speak with me, because if you do all of these within the 1 month, you should start seeing some changes for the better. And then you should talk with your doctor during the time how much water you can consume, because if you have a liver issue, if you have fluids around the liver, in the liver, you have to be careful about how much water you can consume. So you should talk to your doctor about that. So I'll go over it again: the detox system, the milk thistle, the anti-inflammatory, and any of the L-Nu, the basic L-Nu 1, the stronger L-Nu 9, or the strongest L-Nu 25, any one of those. But you should take an ounce daily. Take 1 ounce daily, and that will give your body a good punch to restart fixing itself. It's not going to fix you in a month or 2 or even 6 months, but you're going to get out of trouble, because if you continue on the path you're on and you get to septic liver, it could be the beginning of the end, because once the liver becomes septic, people really survive it.
And Derek Ford, if this is all too much off the bat, just the chat links for the products will remain up, and then the video stays up on YouTube after we're no longer live. So you can always just fast forward to this section of the Q&A and rewatch it to get the information.
And if all these are out of your budget, you could start with the L-Nu 1, or you could start with the anti-inflammatory. But I would say the L-Nu 1, start with the L-Nu 1 if these are out of your budget, but you need to be on these at some point to get your bodies to start. You see that each one is doing something very different for your body. Each one is doing something extremely different. If the liver is toxic, it's because you have a lot of chemicals in your body, a lot of compounds in your body. That's what leading into the enzymes being elevated in the liver, which causing inflammation. So the toxicity or the chemicals are causing inflammation by damaging the cells. So that's why I have all these different formulas to, as we always say for years, one herb, one plant, one formula won't fix you. Even if you have borderline, whatever the issue is. You have to fix all the things that are damaged. You have to fix all the organs that are damaged, leading into that one health issue that you have.
All right. Good morning, Miss Bell. Thank you for joining. All right. Next is Fitzroy's question. He was saying, "Good morning. What are the best supplements new species supplements one should be taking daily?" And then just now he chatted, "I take L-Nu 1 every day." So that is what the answer would have been, Fitzroy, is to take L-Nu 1 every day. That would be the best. That has it has all of the herbs that provide a massive diversity of raw active vitamins and minerals and all the other stuff that comes along with plants, like phytonutrients and all kinds of other things. But we also add in, just to make it as potent as possible, we add in the whole B complex with vitamin C. So it is a pretty powerful daily supplement. Folks who don't find L-Nu 1 to be in the budget can always just do the B vitamins complex by itself with the mineral complex. And then if you need vitamin D, you're going to have to add that in too.
We also do have, which we don't talk about it at all. We have a LNU1 8 ounce, which is $70. So you don't have to always go for the, the biggest thing we have, or the most expensive thing we have. The basic LNU1 is extremely potent. That's what we use. That's what put NuSpecies on the world map. LNU1. It was there before everything else we have. And when we had it, people were getting help with all sort of health issues. So the LNU1 people, please don't underestimate it.
All right, we've got one more question, and this will be the last question that we can take for today because, as we announced earlier, Aston is heading down to Bronxville for the day. He'll be there from 12 to 6. If you are on our email newsletter, I did send out this morning a notification that Aston will be on. Sorry, one second. I'm just gonna. Yeah. I can just see that my camera wasn't on. I didn't know how long you guys wanted to stare at Aston while I was talking.
My grandmother once said, I was handsome, but she was kind of doubtful when she said it. She didn't say it with a lot of confidence.
Oh, I could see you're scarred by that. You still left wondering.
Oh, I love my grandmother.
Are you wondering? Is that the question that's left over that, like, before she died, you wish you had asked if she really thought you were handsome?
I was her favorite.
Oh, that must have made you beautiful to her. Okay. Aston's going to Bronxville today. He will be there from 12 to 6 in our email newsletter that I sent out this morning, reminding you of the Q&A. I did also put a little map that I annotated to show you where to park. Some people go to Bronxville and get very frustrated, but there actually is a bunch of parking spots. You just need to know where they are. So if you're on our email newsletter, you'll be able to see that. Okay. So last question before Aston has to run. Good morning. This is from Anonymous. My white blood cell count is a bit low, according to my hematologist. He said it's not that concerning and that it is seen more in Black people.
Right. So one of the reasons people who are of African ancestry, a lot of us have low WBC. I had it before NuSpecies. I had it for years before NuSpecies. And since NuSpecies, I've been able to get rid of it. So that's another testimonial that your question just triggered for at least on my part. So yes, people who are of African ancestry who live in the Northern Hemisphere, which include the Americas and Europe, of course, Canada and the Caribbean as well, is in the Northern Hemisphere, tend to have low white blood cells because our bodies are not getting adequate vitamin D because of the sunlight. And that's a whole nother subject we could go into. So what I can tell you, the short answer to your question is that, yes, the doctors can do nothing about it because there's no medicine for, there's no medicine for the immune system. There's no medicine to make the WBC better or go higher if it's low, or any of the other white blood cells. There's no medicine. There's no pharmaceutical medicine. So what all of you should do who have low WBC, you're high risk for cancer, you're high risk for blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, autoimmune diseases especially, you're high risk. If your WBC is low, it means that your immune system is weak and your body's not fighting all these bad microbes that Jillian just talked about, the bad bacteria, the bad viruses. Your body's not fighting them, and that's why people who have low WBC get sick so easily. So the basic that you could take from NuSpecies to help with that is our B vitamins with vitamin C, and you should add in the LNU1 along with it. So yes, our LNUs have the B vitamins with vitamin C, but it doesn't have enough for you to, if let's say you have a B vitamins issue or a vitamin C issue, it doesn't have enough to fix if you're trying to fix something, but just to maintain the body, maintain rebuilding the body, it has enough of the B vitamins and vitamin C in the LNU1 or the LNU9 or the LNU25. But you need to add the B vitamins with LNU1 and you need to stay in it. It may take you 6 months or maybe even longer, even a year, for the WBC to climb back to the normal range over 4 or 4.5, depending on what lab company you're using. They all have different algorithms to determine the range of WBC. But I would say 4.5. If you get it up there, you're in good shape.
Yeah, and like we used to always say way back in the beginning, we would say just because something is usual doesn't make it normal. So even if it's common for a Black person to have a lower count and doctors see that, and that doesn't mean that it's like optimal though.
Right. It's not optimal and it's not normal, but the poor doctors, there's nothing they can do about it. Just like you have high blood pressure and the doctor has you on 2 or 3 medication and the pressure is still high. Now the doctor should just tell you, I ain't gonna help you. I can't help you.
Mm.
But the doctor probably will never tell you that. And then you're going to develop heart disease, kidney disease, brain disease, vascular disease because of eye disease, because of the blood pressure, the diabetes, or the condition you have. But the doctors are never going to tell you that they can't help you. But you should know, people, if you're taking the medication for 1 month and your condition is not where it should be normal, you're in trouble, because after 1 month, the body has now become acclimated to the medication. It's likely not going to work anymore. So when you go back to the doctor, if you start on 5 milligrams, they'll give you 10, then 15, then 20, then 80, then 160. It's never going to work. We should talk about that another week as well.
Okay. Um, and then okay. So I want to just apologize to those of you on Instagram. Mary is furiously over there typing. I can hear because we don't see the Instagram feed coming through in front of us. I can only see Facebook and YouTube. So if you join us on Instagram in the future and you think you're going to want to ask questions, it would be better to come on over to YouTube so that we can see your question in time. Just quickly, Mark asks on Instagram about how long should he be on the blood pressure package. I guess that's really going to be a general timeline.
So this is the answer I give everyone, Mark, whether it's blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, whatever issue. If you're taking NuSpecies and you're seeing results, your blood pressure is getting better, your diabetes is getting better, even if it's marginal, your body is fixing. Your body going to fix itself based on the strength of your DNA and your genes. And that's why I stress to all of you to be taking the B vitamins with vitamin C and be taking the mineral complex. So if you are seeing results, changes for the better, whatever you have, you stay in the formulas if you can stay in them until you're born again. The issues are gone. The doctor say you don't have the issues anymore. If you have a budgetary issue, then you need to talk to me so that I can downgrade what you take to give you something potent that will work. Won't work as fast, but I can always lower the package for you to take something less based on your budget. And people, you should follow your budget. Don't try to come to NuSpecies and buy a private jet to fly to wherever, and you're only going to do it once, and then you get to where you're going and you're broke and you disappear. No, you need to be on NuSpecies if you're rebuilding your body for a health issue for 3 to 6 months and maybe even longer. I'd rather you all be buying something smaller than stretch yourself out, wear yourself out, trying to get the big thing. No, you don't have to do that. The basic we have, the minimum bare basic we have will work. It just takes a little longer. And I don't talk more. I don't talk enough about this.
Yeah, I think we need to do a separate video that just covers what timeline looks like for people on rebuilding programs with you, because it is very different for everyone, but you can expect that rebuilding process can take 3 to 6 months to a year sometimes. But whether you stay on that same exact package the whole time, it's is really completely different for everyone, which is why Aston does free consultations, because he knows that as you get more labs, as you give him more observations, as your budget ebbs and flows, he can keep changing what you're taking. So we on our website, Mark, if you're referring to our blood pressure package, it's a starter to get people started. It's a generic thing that Aston has seen really help many people. So we feel confident enough to put it on the site just like that. But it's not a treatment. None of our products are. They're support for your body to help your body finally regulate itself, which it had been doing before and now isn't. And it's possible for your body to do that again. But what each body needs to be able to start doing that again is different, meaning timelines, and how powerful that package is, whether additional things
Everybody's
should be
different.
added in.
Mhm.
And really, just until you start using the products, there's really no way to know for sure how long it might take your body to do that, right? So when you start using them, some people will see results so fast that they're like, "Great, it's done," and then they stop taking it, and then the problem is there again because it really, the body respond quickly, which is great, but the root cause needs time to repair.
Mhm.
And that's a more delicate process over time that you would be working with Aston on. So we really recommend you get on Aston's calendar. And for the other chat on Instagram from Miss Jamaica 9, um, we can't get into too much detail only because even based on what you chatted, Aston would have to ask a whole bunch of follow-up questions. So I think Mary posted some information for you to get an appointment. It's free. Just get on Aston's calendar, let him talk to you about what's going on for you.
So when you all come to me or to NuSpecies because you have a health issue you want to get your body to fight and fix, what we're doing, we're rebuilding your DNA. Whatever we recommend to you, we may not say it in the consultation or the follow-up consultation, but we're rebuilding your DNA. We're rebuilding your genes. DNA make genes. We're rebuilding your cells. We're rebuilding your organs. We're rebuilding all of that. And at the same time, we're helping your body to clean itself, to purify itself of chemicals, free radicals, inflammation, infection. I heard those of you with John and Gillian was on, we're talking about all the good bacteria. Well, sometimes the good bacteria, they interact and with bad bacteria, and then they get more bad bacteria. That's how our bodies produce more bad bacteria, is by the good bacteria and the good and the bad bacteria, coming together to make children. And then you have a whole lot of bad bacteria. So we're helping your body to fight that as well. Rebuild your immune system to fight the bad bacteria. Our immune system naturally know what bacteria to kill. It has to be strong enough. So when you come to us, that's why we don't have magic and miracles. There's no such thing. And anyone who's trying to sell you a magic or a miracle, you should take off your shoes and run as fast as you can away from them because they're probably tricksters.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Andrea says, thank you so much. It's a great recommendation because budget is the key. Budget is the key. We totally understand.
it's everything.
Listen, we make the best products that we can that will actually help you. And then after that, we have to work with your budget. So we have products that can meet any budget. You just may have to adjust your expectations. And that's what the consultation is for, is to continuously assess what are your needs, but what are your expectations and what is your budget? And when we figure out how to reconcile those, just like balancing the books for bookkeeping, then we get you in a sweet spot and we keep you moving along. Consistency is more important than power, and we just want you to be consistently giving your body the tools it needs to rebuild itself.
Yep.
Headley said that he went to the eye doctor yesterday and the report was excellent thanks to NuSpecies. So thank you so much, Headley, for letting us know that.
So Headley, I hope we have your home address because I'm going to mail you a special bill.
Yes. When you get results extra than you anticipated, we have to charge for that. And then Andrea asks another question, but Andrea, we do have to jump off just because Aston is running to Bronxville and he's now officially going to be late. So please bring that question back next week. And then anyone who wants to submit questions throughout the week, you can submit them in advance on our app. So just go to your app store, download NuSpecies app, and there's right on the homepage, there's a little form where you can fill out and you can submit your questions in advance. And then we always have those to go to because guess what? People never start asking questions at the start of the show. So we just get started with the pre-submitted questions and then you'll get your answer in right away. All right, everyone, thank you so much. We love talking to you so much. These questions are great. And we're so privileged to be able to give you this information and help you out. And we're going to keep doing it every single week.
You all have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you next time.